Hello, everybody. My name is Denise LeBaron Loftsgarden, and today I present part of my identity. First, I'd like to share a poem by Sabrina Bename explaining my depression to my mother on YouTube.
Explaining my depression to my mother, a conversation. Mom, my depression is a shapeshifter. One day it is as small as a firefly in the palm of a bear. The next, it's the bear. On those days, I play dead until the bear leaves me alone. I call the bad days the dark days. Mom says try lighting candles. When I see a candle, I see the flesh of a church. The flicker of a flame sparks of a memory younger than noon. I am standing beside her open casket. It is the moment I learn every person I ever come to know will someday die. Besides, Mom, I'm not afraid of the dark. Perhaps that's part of the problem. Mom says I thought the problem was that you can't get out of bed. I can't. Anxiety holds me a hostage inside of my house, inside of my head. Mom says, where did anxiety come from? Anxiety is the cousin visiting from out of town depression felt obligated to bring to the party. Mom, I am the party. Only I am a party I don't want to be at. Mom says, why don't you try going to actual parties? See your friends. Sure, I make plans, but I don't want to go. I make plans because I know I should want to go. I know sometimes I would have wanted to go. It's just not that much fun having fun when you don't want to have fun, Mom. You see, Mom, each night, insomnia sweeps me up in his arms, dips me in the kitchen in the small glow of the stove light. Insomnia has this romantic way of making the moon feel like perfect company. Mom says try counting sheep, but my mind can only count reasons to stay awake, so I go for walks. But my stuttering kneecaps clank like silver spoons held in strong arms with loose wrists. They ring in my ears like clumsy church bells, reminding me I am sleepwalking on an ocean of happiness I cannot baptize myself in. Mom says happy is a decision, but my happy is as hollow as a pin-pricked egg. My happy is a high fever that will break. Mom says I am so good at making something out of nothing and then flat out asks me if I am afraid of dying. No, I am afraid of living. Mom, I am lonely. I think I learned how when Dad left, how to turn the anger into lonely, the lonely into busy. So when I tell you I've been super busy lately, I mean I've been falling asleep watching SportsCenter on the couch to avoid confronting the empty side of my bed. But my depression always drags me back to my bed until my bones are the forgotten fossils of a skeleton sunken city. My mouth a boneyard of teeth broken from biting down on themselves. The hollow auditorium of my chest swoons with echoes of a heartbeat, but I am a careless tourist here. I will never truly know everywhere I have been. Mom still doesn't understand. Mom, can't you see that neither can I?
Today, I'm going to talk about a very personal and real part of me and my identity, and that is major manic depression. Today, I'll go over what major manic depression is. I'll display a pictogram that represents a movement by the Amy Bluell, and then I will present to you the faces of bipolar depression. And then last, I will go over the art of science in the form of medication behind major manic depression. So first, I'd like to go over what major manic depression is. And by definition, bipolar disorder causes extreme mood swings that includes highs that we call mania and lows that we call depression. Mania episodes typically require hospitalization, and with major depression, we classify it as when a person feels sad most of the time for most days of the week. And the combination of both of these is what my diagnosis is of major manic depression. Mania is when that causes impulsive behavior that could threaten a patient's livelihood, giving away their things, being too excited, going for a jump out of an airplane. They're very hyper. And depression is the opposite, where the patient loses all interest in life itself. They overly sleep. And for me, this classification it was easier for me to live asleep than to live awake and be sad. So first I would like to talk to you about the pictogram that I picked for my first art project, and it's by the movement of Amy Bluell. It's a symbol that has transformed lives since the 2013, and it is the semicolon. The semicolon was created to inspire people going through mental health illnesses, specifically with suicide, self-harm, and addiction. And the pictogram is what it represents is where life could have ended. Just like it's used in a sentence where it completes but continues a sentence, a thought, the semicolon in life is represented for where life could have ended if we did not survive. And this is also, a lot of people get tattoos that have gone through mental health illnesses of the semicolon, and this is to remind us that we are not alone. Next, I'd like to talk to you about the faces of bipolar depression, and this is where I'd like to display the masks of bipolar disorder. As you see, I used the mask from Anonymous Mask, and these are the bipolar, the expressions of bipolar depression with the happy face and the sad face. I use this as a representation because it the emotional swings between the mania and the depression. And I also used it as a mask because a lot of patients that are battling bipolar or depression or a combination of both, they usually put a mask on when they're around people to make them think that they're doing okay when emotionally they are not. So last, I would like to go over the art of science through medicines that we have created throughout the years. And this is for us to be able to combat mental health issues like major manic depression. And we've used medicines all around the world to treat illnesses of an variety. So the three that I want to talk about today are in the categories to battle major manic depression. These examples that I'm going to show you today are going to be examples of medicines that I've been prescribed myself, and so I have firsthand knowledge of what they can do. So first, I'd like to talk about mood stabilizers. Mood stabilizers help prevent episodes of mania and deep depression from happening. Typically, you will hear Depakote or lithium prescribed in this process. Also, we talk about antidepressants. Antidepressants will increase the feel-good chemicals in the brain, and it causes, this is a iffy medicine to give certain patients that are bipolar, because this certain antidepressants can cause mania episodes to actually happen and get worse. Some examples of medicines for this is Latuda and Seroquel. And last, the antipsychotics. These are used to affect neurotransmitters in your brain. And the side effects of this, it has weight gain and extreme drowsiness. And an example of a medicine from this category is clozapine. And this is a very strong medicine. So today I went over what major manic depression was. My first genre of art was a pictogram of the semicolon. My second genre of art was the clay masks of the faces of bipolar disorder. And lastly, I went over the art of science through medication. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, please reach out for help by calling the 24-hour suicide prevention hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Today, I'd like to close with a thank you to the first artist, Sabrina, where I took her YouTube video to use for this presentation. It helped me through a lot of things I've gone through. And now I'd like to close with a quote by Earl A. Grolman. Suicide is a whispered word and inappropriate for polite company. Family and friends often pretend they do not hear the word's dread sound even when it is uttered. For suicide is a taboo subject that stigmatizes not only the victim but the survivor as well. Thank you.